Welcome to another daily brief here at the Dakota. I'm Jonathan Starr. Today in history, first nonstop solo transatlantic flight made by Charles Lindbergh. American aviator Charles Lindbergh completed the first nonstop solo flight across the Atlantic Ocean on this day in 1927, traveling from New York to Paris in the monoplane Spirit of St. Louis in about 33 and a half hours. That is a long flight. We have a few news stories from around town and from around the state. First off, the Minot City of Minot is set to host a public forum with police chief finalists in a town hall on Wednesday, May 28th from 6:30 to 8 p.m. at City Hall. This is providing residents an opportunity to engage directly with the three finalists vying for the position of chief of police. The initiative underscores the city's commitment to transparency in its hiring process, allowing community members to pose questions and assess each candidate's vision for the department. The finalists include Michael Fry, a retired Minneapolis police lieutenant with expertise in civil unrest response and homeland security; Edward A. Organ Jr., the current chief of police in Lake Hallie, Wisconsin, and a 23-year veteran of the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration; and Minot's interim chief of police, Del Plessis, who brings 23 years of service within the department and emphasizes transparency and collaboration. So make sure you show up for that. House panel signals increased Interior Department funding beyond Trump's request. On May 20th, a bipartisan U.S. House Appropriations Subcommittee indicated plans to allocate more funding to the Department of the Interior than President Trump's proposed budget. During a hearing, Interior Secretary Doug Burgum defended the administration's proposed $5 billion cut to the department, emphasizing priorities like national security and technological competition. You can learn more about that article at mydakotan.com, so click on the daily brief. Also, North Dakota lawmaker remembered for quiet strength, expertise in aviation education. North Dakota State Representative Cindy Schreiber-Beck, Republican of Wahpeton, passed away on May 18th at the age of 70. Elected to the legislature in 2014, she served as vice chair of the House Education Committee and was widely respected for her bipartisan approach and deep expertise in K-12 and higher education policy. Beyond the Capitol, Schreiber-Beck was a prominent figure in aviation, volunteering nearly 40 years as executive director of the North Dakota Agriculture Aviation Association and co-owning Tri-State Aviation with her late husband. She also served 25 years on the North Dakota Aeronautics Commission and was instrumental in establishing the state's unmanned aerial system test site. In March, she was inducted into the North Dakota Aviation Hall of Fame. Governor Kelly Armstrong ordered flags to be flown at half staff on the day of her internment, and funeral services are scheduled for May 28th at the Fargo Air Museum. Minot Daily News is reporting that the governor veto cuts $350,000 from the North Dakota State Fairgrounds project. On May 21st, North Dakota Governor Kelly Armstrong issued a line item veto eliminating $350,000 of funding intended for sanitation restoration projects at the North Dakota State Fairgrounds. The funds added late in the legislative session to Senate Bill 2018 were earmarked for constructing a new East Side campground restaurant, laundry facility, as well as upgrading restrooms in the State Fair Center. Governor Armstrong justified the veto by stating that the appropriation constituted log rolling as it was added to a bill unrelated to the State Fair Association. Also, testimony continues in Minot murder trial of a missing man. The murder trial of Delon Davis, accused of killing Mark McMillan Jr., progressed in North Central District Court on May 20th. Minot Police Sergeant Shane Johnson, the lead investigator, testified that despite numerous rumors, including claims of cartel involvement, Davis remained the primary suspect. Johnson noted that many of these rumors were propagated by Davis and his associates. IP data from McMillan's social media indicated his last activity on April 7th at the Minot business where the body was found. Thank you for watching this episode of the Daily Brief. Be sure to go to mydakotan.com, click on Daily Brief, and there you will find out where you can read all of these news articles that you heard about today. Be sure to check that out, and be sure to stay tuned for June 17th at the Mouse River Players Theater, where we will be hosting the 2025 mayoral debate. We are looking forward to that. Make sure you make plans to be there. We'll love to see you there. Thanks for watching this episode. Like, subscribe, and have a great